It's the movie Skeetos, the Nostalgia Critic characters you probably didn't think twice about. Now, in this exciting prequel, we answer the question we know you've been dying to find out. How did the movie Skeetos meet?
Hello, I'm Buzzy Buzzy Squish Squish.
I'm George.
And I'm number 3.
It's great to meet you both.
Well, I guess our thrilling backstory is finally revealed.
Let's do what we always do. Watch stuff.
Okay. Well, I'm so glad we addressed what was buzzing around in people's minds.
Yeah, I know it was really sucking the life out of them.
Mosquito-based pun.
Because that's all we are, right? Puns for that small amount of children who aren't developed enough yet to know we're not funny. Hi, kids!
We'll keep you busy while your parents get that much-needed time alone.
Just don't go in their bedroom for 15 to 20 minutes.
Now, on with the show! Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic guy. Remember it so you don't have to. And a special hello to all the movie Skeetos who most likely just revealed their backstory. By God, we've been waiting years to find that out, and now we can all rest easy knowing that riveting tale. Which of course brings us to my review, which I'm sure in no way connects to any of this. Flintstones Viva Rock Vegas. Yup, after the critical crucifixion of the first film resulting in not nearly the profit the studio was hoping to produce, Universal Studios eventually said, those sets were expensive, we gotta use them for something. Thus we have this prequel we didn't know we wanted, with all new annoyances that we know we didn't want. The film seems so disinterested in existing, they're not even facing the viewer all the way on the poster. In fact, the movie cares so little of what impact it has on you that it doesn't even care what it's rated. Yeah, the box says PG, but when you open it up, the disc reads G. Ooh, is the PG version the uncensored cut? The one where Fred finally does Barn? It's all as pleasant as passing a prehistoric kidney stone, and we're gonna find out why. So let's take a page right out of misery. This is Viva Rock Vegas. The intro again has the pun title Universal, because Lord knows I wouldn't want my real company name attached to this either. Though up, the website gives the real name. You're ruining the illusion, Viva Rock Vegas! And we cut to the night terrors Marvin the Martian has when he falls to sleep on ecstasy.
Did anybody else see those big letters flying by?
PG. This was definitely rated PG. Christ, why do Alan Cumming kids films always paint his face green and baste him in horrific horror?
You are to document the Earthlings' bizarre mating ritual.
Oh hey, I was just kidding. Don't let the plot actually be Fred and Barney doing it. Speaking of which, we cut to Fred and Barney portrayed by Mark Addy and Stephen Baldwin. In, no joke, the role I think he was born to play.
Couldn't even crack his knuckles without my help. Crane's got trouble? Just call Barney Rubble.
It's actually kind of eerie how well he gets Barney's cluelessness and lack of development skills.
You're welcome.
Okay, he has essence of Shaggy Stoneness, but A, that's also a Hanna-Barbera character, and B, you'd be stoned too if you were on this movie. You'd have to be to allow this to be your first big joke.
I got 3 stomachs. Cut me some slack.
Yeah, Flintstones was always known for its flatulent humor.
Put up the beds and let's get some sleep.
We don't have beds in camp. We use...
Oh, no!
While that's going on, Fred is trying to pass an exam to finally work with a real dinosaur. But it doesn't exactly go great.
Ooh. Frederick Flintstone.
Despite killing a man, you still passed with flying colors. Hey, if we don't have any animal cruelty laws, why should this bother us? We then cut to the family of Wilma, played by... Kristen Johnson? Okay, now this is particularly interesting because while the casting in the first film was pretty spot on, a lot of people had an issue with Rosie O'Donnell as Betty. Not that she was awful, but whenever you look at her, you don't see Betty, you just see Rosie O'Donnell. Even though Wilma was cast fine. Here, Betty is cast fine, but you don't see Wilma, you just see Kristen Johnson. She's a fine comedic actress, but tell me if you see Wilma or Sally trying to blend in by auditioning for Earth's favorite pastime of making shitty movies.
I was thinking about going someplace a little different, going into Bedrock and going bowling.
Hi, Commander! I made the Chuck E. Cheese animatronics laugh, but this impression of Alice from Honeymooners eludes me! Meanwhile, Barney and Fred continue to think about their futures.
I guess I always figured by this point in my life I'd have somebody special.
Well, you always got me, Fred.
Thanks, Bond.
Okay, I'm trying very hard to resist the gay old-time joke, but you are making it very difficult.
I mean, it's not like something's just gonna drop out of the sky, land right in front of you, and change your whole life.
Oh my god, that thing I just said wouldn't happen just happened. Damn it, couldn't that be the meteor to destroy all prehistoric life?
What are you?
I am your death.
I come from a planet too far for you to fathom, and a civilization too advanced for you to comprehend.
Yet our effects are still pretty shitty. What am I, photoshopped here? Pretty lame.
We let you out of the fancy bottle, now we get wishes, right?
Yeah, Barney's right. Let's get this started. What do we have to rub?
Now I have no choice.
I am of a highly evolved alien species.
You look more like a creation of a TV show rating slump. Hey, I'm a born-again Christian. I'm gonna go create God's Club. Later, Wilma meets Betty, played by Jane Krakowski, at a restaurant.
How much is a glass of water?
Water? Free.
Great, I'll have 2.
Perfect, just one question. What's glass? Stone Age? Betty mistakes Wilma for being caveless despite the fact that she's actually running away from her incredibly rich mother because she hates her lifestyle.
You'll stay with me till you're back on your feet. I know you're not looking for a handout. You're just looking for your self-respect.
After that Schmidt woman, inviting a complete stranger in seems perfectly normal.
Good night, Fred.
Good night, Bond.
Good night, dum-dums.
Sorry, I will never get used to how freaky that is.
I am here to observe your species' mating rituals. So, get to it.
Oh, Barney and me don't,
Okay, is my joke playlist just gonna be nothing but this? Kazoo follows them to a fast food joint where Wilma gets her first serving job, but Fred seems to miss her and instead gets the hots for Betty.
Sorry, no substitutions.
Sorry, I don't speak Bill O'Reilly.
You want a date? Well, I've gone out with men who've said less.
Bill Cosby just got me a drink.
Why not? You can take me to the carnival tomorrow.
Sorry, I don't speak Clinton either. Okay, bottom line, anyone named Bill is most likely an adulterer. Some exceptions. Well, now we know Fred's kill face. We'll just add that to the list of everyone else's kill face. I think Barney is up to 5. Of course, Barney then gets a date with Wilma, which honestly is not a bad idea and could be a little funny. But then you remember this was directed by the same asshole who directed these, and that foolish optimism is put out like T-Rex urine on a fire. Okay, stop. How the hell is there a video camera? I can surprisingly suspend disbelief through most of this, but a video camera? No, I'm sorry. We see pictures are chiseled, so we're just supposed to expect there's a bird chiseling 100 pictures per minute. It's like having a live audience in animation. How would that be possible? Oh, there's another one to add to the kill face count. I'm just assuming most of the cast are gonna show up on CSI Bedrock. They of course end up switching and start getting along better with the others' dates. Oh, this paper mache is so heavy. Maybe a ride in an animal's ribcage will make me feel better. Flintstones is kind of disturbing when you think about it.
Wish I'd brought something to drape over my shoulders, you know? Thank you.
Nice opening, lover boy.
Okay, I'm gonna justify him in this movie by saying he's the big giant head checking in on Sally's mission. He already did it once as the whole. Whoa! I swear that never happens. Yeah, that's right. The prize they won at the carnival was Dino. You know, aliens, dinosaurs, and cavemen all exist at the same time. Why should this bother me? It doesn't. Next shitty scene. Wilma's mom drops by, played by Joan Collins.
Oh, I don't think I have the strength.
All right.
As she interrupts her primordial blackface to ask Wilma to come home.
I'm going to take my bath now. Good luck.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's a cave. There's gonna be dirt and dust. It's a cave! She invites her back to celebrating her father's birthday while Fred thinks about proposing to Wilma. Seems a little fast, but to be fair, this movie does feel like years have gone by.
So, Vaughn, what do you think?
Oh, Fred, you shouldn't have.
We'll have a gay old time.
It's not for you, nitwit, it's for Wilma.
Oh.
Probably for the best. I'm saving myself for Pauly Shore. They meet at her mother's house to discover she's so rich she can hire John Chow as a valet.
He's trying to steal my car.
No, sir. Fred, he's the valet.
I knew that.
Harold and Sulu park a car. Hey, don't tempt them. They might make that. By the way, Wilma's dad is played by Harvey Korman. As you can plainly see, he never recovered after the Star Wars holiday special.
Cavalry, mount up. We're moving out. Charge! You're using coconuts.
Fred is intimidated about his ring when he sees the family she comes from. And it doesn't help that Dino interrupts the party also.
Dino!
Well, this is a fine how do you do. Surely the chef's desserts will make everything better. But Wilma sticks up for her party ruiner.
That is why I like them, because they're not like you.
How dare you talk to me like that, Wilma? No one has ever talked to me like that before.
They usually just say, glub, glub, you're a fish, glub, glub. But Chip Rockefeller, ha! Chip Rock! No, you were right not to laugh at that. Feels bad about how the family acted and invites them to his casino at Rock Vegas.
I don't think now is such a good time.
Rock Vegas, eh?
No! God, no! God damn it, as if we didn't have enough kill faces in this movie, now we have to have the one from Judge Doom at the end of Roger Rabbit?
When I kill your brother, I talk! Just wait!
Ignore the G rating. This is a PG when PG actually meant something. Everybody is, of course, off to Rock Vegas. Say, I wonder what prehistoric law on prostitution is here.
Oh, there's a lot of bush gonna be sold.
Hey, he said it, not me. He's a hard drinker and a hard smoker. Isn't this kind of like the next logical step?
Viva Rock Vegas!
So, even though this movie is bad, I will give it credit that it doesn't really have a predictable plot. It's just Fred and Barney meeting Wilma and Betty and going to Vegas. Honestly, I'm not entirely seeing where this plot can go.
Soon Wilma will see him for the pathetic primitive primate he really is.
Ah, there's our bullshit. You see, Chip wants to marry Wilma so he can inherit her fortune to pay off some gangsters and shit. Do I even need to say it? You've heard it a million times. But hey, it does allow for the crossover we've all been waiting for of the Flintstones meets the Leprechaun. And the Jolly Green Brad Garrett? Speaking of threatening little green nightmares.
I know this will be difficult for you, but let's think.
He explains Rockefeller's plan, but it leaves little to no impression on our dumb as a rock hero.
Good luck, dum-dum. You'll need it.
I think that's what every ticket taker said when going in to see this movie. Good luck, dum-dum, you're gonna need it. Good luck, dum-dum, you're gonna need it. Good luck, dum-dum, you're gonna need it. Meanwhile, Wilma and Betty get a massage from an unlikely cameo.
Could you get between my shoulder blades? That's where I carry all my tension.
Ha! She's tense. I just found out what calamari means.
Finally, a fitting role for Rosie O'Donnell in the Flintstones. Not since casting her as a chimp has this felt so right. Barney as well seems to be enjoying himself.
Ooh, look at the size of that pie.
Well, gee, I'm totally clueless to where this is going. I'm gonna say they all get cave syphilis and die.
Waiter!
Or the pie goes in her face, one of the two.
Let me help.
Oh, now we're doing this stupid thing. Christ, the storytelling connects so much to our everyday lives. How many cream pie misunderstandings will it take before we learn?
No, it's okay. I was just wiping my white hot cream off her breast.
Hello, love.
This leads to Alan coming in a double role, because if I was in a Flintstone movie, I would want double the attention. Playing rock star Mick Jagged.
What do you say we go and meet me bandmates? Then maybe go somewhere more quiet so we can talk a little bit more, yeah?
You know, how bad bad is it that Flintstone Kids is a better prequel than all of this? Fred, it looks like, is getting way too into his winnings, and Chip decides to sabotage him by pushing a lever that forces him to lose. No, literally, he just pushes one lever and Fred magically loses all his money to the casino. How the hell does that guy owe money? He has a magic lever that can force people to lose everything. Marry into money? Why? You have God's personal money tree. There's not even any complicated controls. It's just win and lose. Is it only targeted to Fred? Can it be targeted to other people? Is there a remote control chip in everybody's mind that he somehow has control over that can win or lose? Or this whole movie should be about how that lever works. But nope, we don't focus anymore on that, because he instead tries to woo Wilma by saying he'll put her priceless pearls in his safe, which, for a casino, seems surprisingly small. And an open view for everyone to see. But it's okay, because they rip off the dumbest subplot of Titanic. Yep, they slip Wilma's pearls into Fred's pocket.
This is horseshit.
You said it, 1997 Leonardo DiCaprio, you said it. Even when Chip seals off the casino asking the wrongdoer to come forward and confess, I don't think there's anything that could possibly make any of this remotely funny.
I'm systematically poisoning the dinosaurs' water supply. In a matter of decades, their entire species will be extinct.
Doyle? You actually had a funny line. Good God, I think that's like the one funny line in the entire goddamn movie.
Doesn't anybody care about this whole dinosaurs becoming extinct thing?
No! No, please, can't we follow that other guy's story? Why did he do it? How did he do it? Can he save a couple so we can reenact Dino Riders?
That's chaos theory.
He of course reveals Fred as the culprit and even works in Barney as an accomplice, and Wilma, being as dumb as everyone else in this movie, believes it. This means Chip's plan is working and just in the nick of time.
See, a little birdie told him that you ain't even dating the slag.
Hey, I might be out of a job tomorrow. Brother's gotta have a little nest egg, you dig?
That bird was going a little too Dumbo for my taste.
But if the bride don't show, you'll be spending your wedding night
with me.
We'll have a gay old time.
Hey, what happens in Rock Vegas stays in Rock Vegas. Did I mention his name is Rock Vegas? Meanwhile, Fred and Barney sulk in a jail cell.
We'd be with them right now if I hadn't been so stupid.
Now I could have told you that.
So you're gonna bust us out of here?
Whoa. Do I look like the cavalry? Those outfits are adorable. You two know I can't actually interfere.
If you do, I'll make sure you never do another Spy Kids. But Barney finds a way to sneak through the bars and get out.
Blow.
You can fit through the bars.
I can?
Meanwhile, both Betty and Wilma think they were happier with the people. They're still under the impression we're cheaters and thieves.
Oh, Betty!
I'm leaking! I don't know, somehow Fred and Barney dress in drag. Do you really care how? They eventually break in and try to get Betty out of Mick's hands.
I just had to come back here and tell you. I love you. I don't think I ever told you that before. But now I did, so goodbye.
You will believe Stephen Baldwin as Barney Rubble as a showgirl will win an Oscar. Mostly because you were dropped as a child. Hard. And repeatedly.
Do you really mean it?
Of course I do. I've never felt this way about anyone before.
Oh, Barney, after all these years, I thought you were after my Fruity Pebbles.
Not after I've gone to all the trouble of pinching her from him in the first place.
You will forget I can do Shakespeare!
Take this, you foreigner!
As Chip tries to force Wilma to marry him, Fred sneaks onto the stage dressed like how babies are made.
This isn't love. This is ecstasy.
Oh, Fred, you sing horribly.
Wilma, I'd never forgive myself if I didn't give this one last try. Wilma Slaghoople.
Will you walk off the set with me?
Wilma, will you...
Yeah, she still thinks he stole from her. He's clearly got a gambling problem, but he's so in love with her, he can't even say the word marry when proposing. Christ, I wish we were watching that guy who was gonna wipe out the dinosaurs.
Your last chance.
Oh, there he is. Tell me your motivation. What's your plan?
Stop me, or all the dinosaurs die.
Damn it! Because of people like you that we're getting 7 Transformer movies! She of course says yes, and they're married in a church, which raises so many religious questions about this world since a Flintstones Christmas.
Do you, Fred Flintstone, take Wilma Slaghoople to be your wife?
I yabba dabba do.
I'm saying that line under protest.
Good night, everybody. No refunds! And that was Viva Rock Vegas. I think it's very obvious they came up with the title first and wrote a movie around it. It's not even a very good pun. Lost, rock, they don't sound alike. Much like the first one, it's got some good impressions and 1 or 2 neat set pieces, but it's just pointless, unfunny, and creepy. When it's not unpleasant, it's boring. And there's literally no reason to have this be a prequel. Just take out the 4 of them meeting for the first time and keep everything else the same. It's still just Flintstones being Flintstones. It's catchphrases, bad puns, and awkward scene after awkward scene. This film is just one big yabba dabba dump. I'm the Nostalgia Critic guy, remember it, so you don't have to.
Well, that seemed totally unnecessary.
But made somewhat of a profit.
Which means there'll be many, many more movie Skeeto adventures. Like Ghost Bugsters,
Hot Buzz,
Insecttion,
The Mask, Skeeto,
Out of Parasite,
Bugs Maids,
and Hamlet.
And don't worry, parents, we'll make them really crappy so we can get them to you faster.
And to all you adults who would actually enjoy watching these films, go sleep with someone.
Please, be kind to yourself. Well, that's about it from the movie Skeetos. See you next time!
There's a lot of bush gonna be sold.
Hey everybody, Doug Walker here doing the charity shout out, doing a real cool one this week. We are doing Team Rubicon. Team Rubicon unites the skills and experiences of military veterans with first responders to rapidly deploy emergency response teams. Their primary mission is providing disaster relief to those affected by natural disasters, be they domestic or international. By pairing the skills and experiences of military veterans with first responders, medical professionals, and technology solutions, they aim to provide the greatest service and impact possible. They seek to provide their veterans with 3 things they lose after leaving the military: a purpose, gained through disaster relief, community, built by serving with others, and self-worth from recognizing the impact one individual can make. Coupled with leadership development and other opportunities, Team Rubicon looks to help veterans transition from military to civilian life as well. If you look at their site and their YouTube page, you can not only see what an awesome idea this is, but also how incredibly helpful it is to so many lives. Check it out and see how you too can help.